Hi there, my name is Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Oh, let me fix my hair. How you doing, everyone? Thank you for joining me on today, which is Thursday. I've got working on a new setup here. Let me come and say hi to everyone that's here. JJ's House of Jams. How you doing, my friend? Alec Bourne, how you doing? How you getting on with the 2.9 update? Do let me know. Thank you. So the countdown music was made with Band in the Box, and need to fix that loop there, but I'm hoping to get some Band in the Box tracks playing before I come on, and if you want to, then you could jam along, of course. That'd be kind of cool. You can play along to the track. Patsy Smith, Patsy and Burns from England. Awesome. Oh, JJ's House of Jams is originally from Brighton. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. Well, cheers everyone. How you doing? Let me know how you are today. Today I'm going to talk about 2.90 again for the Line 6 Helix. Any Helix fans here, please do join in the discussion. I've got some patches that I've made to show off some of the features, and I'd love to get your input on what I've done. Cheers. Okay, so I'm playing my Sonic Blues Strat today. I do like this Fender guitar. It's very nice. A very nice guitar indeed. I got a few views for you. I'll just show you my views. I am going to have the HX edit. JJ's House of Jams, what's your favorite feature in 2.9? Do tell. There you can see my desktop right here. Let's make sure you can see it clearly. And pull this over here. I'm just gonna get this resized. Awesome. Okay, and this one. Make sure you can see that nice and clearly so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'll make it a bit wider. And make sure you can see my face. There we go. Have you discovered any cool tricks? Do let me know if you have. I know Alec has. All right, awesome. Okay, you can see me, right? Yeah, very good. And I've got the iPhone cam as well. Yep, very cool. Now, the stream's a bit noisy today because I'm not using the Helix noise gate because I'm using the Helix for other things. So do bear with me with that, but that's fine. You can see that screen nicely there. That's my patch that I've made. I've tried to use all the features that I can from the update. So let's go through the patch and I'll show you what I got. First of all, let's just say hi to everyone. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Alec, how you doing? Please do let me know if you've made any discoveries in 2.9. That'd be awesome. Okay, let me show you I guess I'll go to HX edit to start with. Okay, let me see if you can see that. So I think that's as big as I can get it. So, what I have here is a few things that are not actually new to the update, but I've tried to include all the things that are new to the update. Let me just resize this better so you can see the start. That's better. Okay, so I've got the guitar on the input block here, and I have the input gate set to off. I've got a wah. I'll just talk you through my patch because this isn't the patch I would necessarily use for everything, but I do like a lot of these things. I do like the throaty wah. Sometimes I change the mix level, but I like that wah. Now, here's the first thing I think is really cool on this update. Have you all played with the new input meters? Let me show you what I mean. If I switch to the iPhone camera here, let's make sure I can see it as well. Okay, you can see that clearly, right? So if I have the block set to the input on the guitar, you've seen this already. If I play, Alec, you may not have seen this because you don't have a floor, but can you see it lighten up green? Let me show you on the screen here. This one right here. You can see everything's green, so that's nice. That means that's a good thing. It means it's not clipping. And you don't want things to clip, right? Because it's going to sound bad. So if you click on the actual input block itself on the Helix, you even see the lines on this. Oh, wait. I don't see my input gate. Hang on. My input level. Interesting. Interesting. I'm supposed to see the input meters on the Helix. Let me just restart it and see if that is a bug or if I'm doing something silly. I thought I'd figured that out. Let me just try. Well, I'll just mute it so you don't get blown away by the input. One thing I've noticed about this update is that the Helix turns on very quickly. Have you noticed that? So actually, before I updated the HX stump, I timed it. I know it's a very geeky thing to do, but I timed it and it was 18 seconds. And after the update, it was like 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. So it is, it's just like 60% faster to load, or 40% faster to load up, right? Maths is not my thing. Okay, I don't see. Oh man, why don't I see them? Why aren't they not there? Am I being silly? Okay, let me try. Let me try the compressor. Okay, I'll look at the compressor. Maybe someone there can tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm losing the plot here. If you click on the compressor, if you look at the pedal now, you can see when I play. Can you see that yellow line? It's very hard to see on the screen, but I'll just point it out. If you look over here on the right, very far right of the screen, you can see it's just coming on. Well, here's the first revelation I had. I put a compressor in here, and first of all, I don't really like compressors, okay? That's the thing with me. I like them sometimes, but not all the time. And I put that in there, and I realized that often when I use a compressor, it doesn't actually do anything. It's not actually registering. So let me just bring myself back again. Yeah, so that was my big aha moment. I kind of knew this, but when you just load up compressor, you've got to be careful. Sometimes it doesn't do anything, and you might think, oh yeah, it sounds better, it's compressed, but it's not. Okay, that's maybe that doesn't happen to you, but that happened to me several times. I like to see things with my eyes, and so when I see that meter moving, I know that it's working. So if I increase the compression, I can see it compressing more. So I want just a touch of compression. And the great thing now is that I can just see when it's just turning on. And that's what's happening here. If I show you the screen again, I know again it's very small, but you can see here on the top right, it's just right here, it's just lighting up right there. When I really dig in. So I know I've got just a touch of compression. I think that's really, really great. I really do. I think that's awesome. Alex says it's on the output. Yeah, maybe you're right, Alec. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, Alec, I need some coffee. Hang on. Alec, you're absolutely right. It doesn't show you the input level. It shows you the output level with the lines. Yeah. There we go. Oh, dear me. So you can see they're lighting up, right? It's like 50% right there. Okay, I'll say this. I would like them on the input block as well. Because another cool thing I realized is, have you ever connected a microphone to this pedal before? It's really great, but you don't know what to set it to. I want to show you this because this could be very useful. If I go to the input block, if I load up this preset here, right, I've changed the input to a microphone. Now what happens is I've got a microphone connected here. It's just a regular dynamic mic. It doesn't need phantom power. And if I speak into it now, I'm actually speaking into it, you can see that it doesn't light up at all. So I'm talking into this microphone and the block there, the input block, is not green, right? It should be green to indicate signal. So that's because when you first plug a mic into the Helix, you get 0 dB. You have to go into the settings. I'll show you right here. Global settings. and you're going to go to mic input gain. Now if you turn it up, before you didn't know if that was working. Well, of course now you know, but you do have to go back to the main page again. So I have to press home. So now look, now it's lighting up green. Right, there we go. That's why I want the input level, because I don't know how much gain there is there. That's absolutely right. So what I have to do is sing really loud and see if it goes red. If it goes red, then it's clipping, right? Yeah. Okay, it went red, but that was really loud. So that for me would probably be okay. Let me see what I've got it set to. 30. I'll bring it down then. I'll try 24. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that was really loud and it doesn't clip. So that's around that volume is what I want. I kind of knew that. Again, I kind of knew that from testing it, from using my ears. You know, I did kind of know that, but it's much better to have a visual guide for me. I like having the visual guide. So I wish it had the input level, because then I would see exactly how much gain is going in, whether it's an acoustic, an electric, or a vocal mic. And they are also, those meters are not on the editor at all. And I'd like to see them on the editor on the screen, because when I go to the screen right here, there we go, you can see that it's not there. Oh, no, wait, it is. It is. It's on the... let me just see here. No, nothing at all. So I'd love to see the levels on here as well. And if I'm not mistaken, I haven't actually plugged the stomp in yet, but I'm pretty sure the HX stomp doesn't show any levels, any lines. It just shows the colors, the red or the green. So I guess it's better than nothing, but it's the more meters you see on the screen for me, the better. I just like to see what's going on, you know. So that's really big for me. That's really helping me learn about compression. Because I don't mind saying this, I didn't really understand when it would kick in. You can hear it, of course, but it's not the same for me as seeing it on the screen. So I really like that. So on this patch here, this is my clean amp. I decided to use, I'll come back to these distortion pedals. I decided to use amp and cab. I wanted to use the Fullerton Bright, because the Fullerton cab was not in the Helix before. This is a new addition, and I like it a lot because it's a 1x12, and I like 1x12 cabs because I'm used to playing through them. Okay. I find them very pokey. I find them very a bit more mids, less bass, and I like that. I guess it's also what you get used to as well, right? So I've done a high cut here of 5 kilohertz because I find it quite bright. Right there. And then on the amp here, I've actually been turning the sag up lately as well. I like that. And here's a good tip. I don't know if you've noticed this, but on these amps and some of the amps, you get a real noise from the ripple. Check this out. I don't know if you can hear that, but the ripple on the Fullerton and the Grammatico and some of the other amps is really, really obvious. It sounds like a hum coming through the pedal. So I usually turn that to 0. So that's my clean sound there. Actually sounds brighter now than it did when I made it. I'm not sure why that is. But unless I change something, it might just be the headphones. The in-ears sound much brighter than the studio monitors do. And then what I've got is I've got a block. Let me just show you again on the Helix itself. I have a block here, which is a tube screamer, and that is applied to pedal 1, which you can't quite see. Just for a bit of crunch. Of course, you can also hear the guitar coming through the vocal microphone right now as well. Snapshot 2 is my crunch, and for this one, I have that turn off, and I have this new pedal turn on. This is the Alpaca Rouge, which is the red llama, right? Now, some people are saying that sounds like a fuzz pedal. I didn't think that at first, but now I really listen to it. I guess they're right, yeah. So this isn't necessarily the pedal I would normally use for Snapshot 2, but I put it in here just to test it out. So let me turn the vocal mic off and play it through a bit more. So I really dig that, but yeah, it is a bit kind of a fuzz pedal. I agree. I think it works really well in front of this particular amp and cab. I like it quite a lot. And then for my third one, what I really like in this update, okay, I have used the purple channel of the Rev here just because I'm trying to use everything I can from the update in this video, but I really like this distortion pedal. I really like this. Oh, where is it? Oh, I haven't used it on this one yet. This is the purple Rev right here with a distortion pedal driving it. Yeah, I need to mute my microphone, sorry. But I really like, can we find it? Legendary Drive. I think this is an amazing pedal. And I think it's amazing because it has a great sound. It has a 3-band EQ, which I know you can always assign to snapshots, but I love having it there on the screen. And it also has the presence, so it has a 4-band EQ, sorry, and it has a level and a drive. It's very versatile. And it's got a great sound, I think. I really like it quite a lot. There's actually way too much on that sound. I really like it into the clean sound right here. I'm going to try that. I think it sounds great into a clean amp particularly. Oh, we just bring it down. And I like to bring the presence down on this one too. I mean, my Stratocaster is quite bright anyway, but you know. Yeah, I think that works really, really well into a clean amp. So that's what I would use. Actually, if I had just a clean amp, I would use that in there for my distortion. I think it's my favorite distortion pedal by far. And I would use probably a different pedal for the crunch sound, but it's still a good one. Also, I really like driving this Scream 808 into these things to give. I mean, my guitar sounds a bit thin with the single coil pickups, so it's nice to have. All right, let me go back to desktop and then just finish through this chain here. One thing I did add was this this modulation here. Check this out. This is the new Pebble phaser. Not sure where I'd use it, but I think it sounds really good. Now, the big question I had from some people on the Facebook group, which I absolutely forgot to post in that I was doing this, sorry, but they can watch it again. The big question I had was, how do you set up the new, let me see, let me just get Helix up here, the new command center. How do you do that? Let me go over to the phone and show you what I got. So I have, this is very cool, right? This is what I've been wanting to do for a long time. I want to be able to set up the pedal however I want to have it. So if you look at the screen here, this is on the phone cam. This is completely a new feature. This is really great. I can have the clean snapshot on the first button, on the bottom left. I can have the crunch on the second button, and then the heavy. And that's it. I don't have to have 4 snapshots anymore. I could just have 2 snapshots. So if you only want to have 2 snapshots, you can now do that. In the past, you had to have 4. So that's great. I don't even use that mode anymore. I used to use the mode button. I used to have this with the snapshots on the bottom and single pedals on the top, which is pretty useful, but I would always find myself going into the mode and using this setting for the pedal board mode. So I love this new hybrid thing. This reminds me of the TC Helicon pedals in a way. So you can actually have, well, I definitely want clean, crunch, and heavy. So I've got clean, crunch, heavy, and then I'll have the looper. So for my looper, again, you used to have, I just got a message to turn up the Helix. I'll do that in a second. I'm going to play through properly in a bit because I want to take the microphone off and just play for a bit. So I have the looper. Now, I like 2-button loopers. I like 2-button loopers quite a lot. And in the past, you had to have a 1-button looper, which I don't find useful for performance at all. Or you'd have to go press a button to go into the looper and then use the buttons, which is okay. It's okay. It's not bad. Let me just see if I can put this down. That's not a bad thing to do, but I like having a 2-button looper, and we finally have it. We finally have the 2-button looper. So I've assigned 1 button as record and 1 button as stop and play. Now, let me show you what that can do. So let's figure out my levels here. And you can please let me know if the levels are okay. Oh, I've got the distortion on. Just going to play my clean sound. I think I actually had the guitar turned down, that's why it's quiet. That should be better. Okay, so this will be very hard to do with a camera in front of it. I have to move it slightly. If you want me to show you how I do how I set it up, then let me know. No, I haven't got that yet. I actually had some issues. I'll show you when I go in. There's a way to set up the looper functions, but I found there was like a glitch. When I did it a certain way, I had a glitch on the looper. So this is the way I've done it so far. I've got my record here, so I can hit play. Okay. So that's smooth, that's perfect. I'm very happy with that. It took me a while to get this figured out because there's a function for the stop and there's a function for the, there's a function for press and a function for release. And I'll get into this and why it can be a potential issue in a little bit. And I'll show you my settings as well because I think this is a good place to start. Right, so if I press record, the other option I have. Now, no, I've got it. Alec, I've got it. I'm losing my brain today. I've got the overdub right there. Look, it's in overdub mode right now. Okay, so I have a 2-button looper with overdub and stop. Don't have delete. I usually have to press and hold delete on my other looper, but I actually like the Helix looper because you don't have to delete. All you have to do on the Helix looper is just press stop and it's ready to go again. When you hit record, it starts a new loop. This is actually a really good looper. So let me just show you again. I think I've got the hang of this now. All right, check this out. So hit record for record. If I want to just play it, I'll hit play. And it starts to play. Okay, my hands are off. If I want to go straight into an overdub, I hit that record button a second time. And now it's in overdub. See, it says overdub in. And if I press out, now it's out again. Okay, so I really like that. The only thing I can't do is I can't stop it because what I do sometimes is record the loop while I'm singing and then go straight into, so for example, I might be singing here and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm singing. Now I want to stop it. I don't want to play it. I want to stop it. I'll tell you why in a minute. I could press it twice. That kind of works. The reason I do that is I want to just share this with you because I find it pretty useful. If you sing or do something like that, you can kind of store the loop for later on. So you can, I would go record and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm singing and then stop. And the reason is I might want to bring the loop back in later on, like now, and it's playing and I can play. I might want to kind of record it and then trigger it later on. Sometimes I do that. Maybe not very often, but it can be useful. Let me just try the noise gate on this clean sound because it's pretty noisy. There we go. Right. I want to turn the treble down too as well. I find that when I set these things, this is the bright channel of the amp, but I find that when I set these things up with my studio monitors, of course, they sound completely different through the in-ears. It's better. Okay, so that's the looper. Tell me what you think. Is there anything there that's missing? You can do whatever you want. You can assign any of the looper buttons to any button now, and you can assign any snapshot button to any of the buttons. So you can completely customize the whole thing. Let me just read. I'm going to go back to the Helix and I'll just read your comments. It does look pretty today, doesn't it? I do like using my phone for that. Okay. Looping options. You can assign the switches you want now, Pooh. So if you can work 2 or 3, you can. Yeah, I mean, you can have any button that you want. Of course, you don't want to fill up the screen with looper buttons. Well, I don't want to fill up the screen with looper buttons, not particularly. Nice and better quality than HD 500X, but similar. Yeah. Okay, what's this one? Have you tried putting stop on the release instead of tap? Right, so that's what you can do. You actually have the ability to set, and let me go into the settings and show you. Alec has seen this, and actually, if you want to know how to do this, I'll show you right now. So you press that button at the top left there I just pressed, which is your menu, and then you press on Command Center. Now what you do is you select the switch that you're working with. So use this one here. That's foot switch 10, okay? That's the one with the record sign on it. That's the one, let me just show you on the screen so everyone can follow along. That's this button right here, foot switch 10, all right? And these are your settings. So the command can be anything. The one at the end is HX looper, that's what you want. The other ones have snapshots and other things, you know, changing your amp channel, whatever. You want HX looper. Now check this out, behavior, press release. And you have a command for press and a command for release. So on the press, I have it set to record or overdub. So if nothing's in there, it'll record, and if it's made a loop already, it will overdub on each press. The release. So here's the thing with a looper, and a lot of people don't think about this, I feel. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. With a looper, you have 2 options. I wish I had a pedal here to show you, but there's 2 options they can do with a looper. When you press the button down, it can do something. In this case, it can record. And when you release the button, it can do something. This is how they do things like certain features like overdubs and deleting. When you press it down and hold it, you get another option as well. So you can configure that. Now, here's the thing. I've noticed on some loopers, to get all the commands working, they have so many commands that they have to use that release. Some loopers use the release to start recording. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is that you really want, in my opinion, you want to press down to record and it starts recording as soon as you hit it, because it's got to be instant. It's got to be on the beat. If you put your foot down and leave it for a split second and then bring it up again and it starts recording, you're going to have a latency in the loop, right? That's not good. I want the recording to start on the press. I want it to start immediately on the press. And I want it to stop and start playing again, I think, on the press. I think so. You'd have to experiment with that. What I found is, dialing this in for today, is that some of the combinations I did had like a glitch. And it wasn't my timing, because I checked against the main looper. They didn't work as I thought they would. So just be careful with that. If you find the combination that you think is great, then do let me know. I'll just show you how I've got it set up so far, because I think this is pretty cool. That works for me anyway. So, like I said, I've got HX loop. I can actually show you this on the Helix screen here. I'm going to show you on the Helix itself. I mean on the HX edit. I'm going to show you on the Helix itself. So you've got the record, HX looper, behavior, press release, press record, overdub, release, nothing. Okay, let me go through this and I'll see what Alec is saying about this. But that's how I have that one set. If I move it to the next one, you see that would be press and hold. That's your other option, press and hold. So press would be record, overdub, and hold would be something else. And you can scroll that wheel and choose something else. Okay. So I've got the press and release set to record or overdub. That's what I want. That's what most 2-button loopers do. If I go to the next one. This is the next button along. This is press is play and play or stop. If it's playing, it will stop. If it's stopped, it will play. Release is nothing. I don't want anything on the release. And then the other option is to press and hold. So Alec is absolutely right. You could set this up so when you press and hold, it undoes the loop. But I don't know, I don't really feel the need to do that. The great thing now is it's getting more flexible. You can set it up however you want it to. So let me just try something just for fun. I'll put it back to how I had it. Let me just check that's working okay. You hear that's fine, right? That's fine, that's a good loop, that's in time for a change. Okay, so let's have some fun. And you tell me, what should I put? I'll put another command on the 2-button loop. I'll try putting something on the press and hold. So what should I put on the press and hold? I'll pick it. Let's put the reverse mode on press and hold and see what happens. Let's go back to it over here. Okay, let's have some fun. Let's see. So I want it on the record. Yeah, I'll try it on the play button. So press and hold, I've got press is play or stop. Hold will be, and these are all your options that you have. There, reverse. I'm going to try reverse, okay? Very cool. So let's just try it and see what happens. I'm not quite sure myself what's going to happen. So when I press and hold, it should reverse the loop. Let's see. Okay, so I could press this to stop. I could press this to play. It's happening on the press. That's what you want. It's instant. What happens if I hold it down? Aha! Very good, Alec. Very good. 10 out of 10, my friend. That's very cool. Press and hold again. Uh-oh, it doesn't go the other way. But a press will stop it. So, okay, let me try and change that setting so it goes back to the other direction. Reverse. There we go. It's another option for reverse and forward. This should do either or. Let's see. There we go. Pretty cool, right? So you're absolutely right, Alec. Good point. Good point. You can have a 2-button looper with hold features as well. That's really cool. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't just use the looper. Indeed, look. Check that out. That's really cool. You have record, play, stop, half speed, full speed, reverse forward, play once, undo. I just never used those features. I would get frustrated I had to go in there just to start recording. I kind of wish I could start recording, it would jump to this screen. So I hit one button on the top level and it goes to this mode where I can then tweak what I'm doing. But you don't need that. I think for me, the 2-button is really great. And for that reason, I don't need that button. That button that says six switch looper, I could change that to something else because I don't need it. What can I change that to? I'll change that to, actually can be absolutely anything. I'll put the alpaca on there. Hold it in. Replace. Okay, now I've got an alpaca on that button because I don't need the loop. Woo! I think I got it. So there you go. That's the new drives, the new chorus, the new amp, and the new moving the buttons around the page thing, which I think is great and I love it. The one thing I wish you could do, and I'm only saying this for a friend of mine, is because he told me this, he likes to do this, it'd be good to change the tap tempo button. I wish I could move that somewhere else. Well, not for me personally, but I know some people would like it. I'd like to have anything anywhere. It'd be good. But this works for me. It gives me the 2-button looper, which I need, you may not. It gives me 3 snapshots, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons along the top. That's actually, for what I do, that's absolutely fine. I don't need anything else. I kind of wish that mode button could also be another button as well. That'd be kind of useful for me. Let me just go back to the iPhone cam so I can show you what I'm talking about. So check this out. For me, for a gig, this is great. This will do exactly what I want. Yeah, see that? I know you need the mode button, but I wouldn't mind not having that there. I mean, you can do pedal edit mode, I guess, might be useful, but for me, this is great. Three basic sounds, 2-button looper, tap tempo tuner, and then all those buttons along the top. So I really like that. I really like the, this is a functionality update, right? You've got meters, you've got the ability to move things, and you've got some pretty cool sounds in there now as well, which is nice. Now, Alec, I want to show you the next thing. Actually, I think I've covered everything. The one thing I'm going to cover, which I'm still working on, but I think it's really worth mentioning, is, of course, the dynamic feature. And what this is, as I understand it, you put the split block in here, and it's the split dynamic. All right, Alec's been playing with this. I must admit, I've not heard your patch yet. Maybe your patch does it better than mine. I'm sure it does. Let's see though. And he says assign the looper is also different there. Before you had to press bypass and then assign. Now you just assign it by pressing. Oh, really? Pressing by touching and holding a foot switch. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't remember doing that, but I guess maybe. Let me show you this thing here. I'm trying to get to a certain thing, and I'll tell you what that is. But so far, let me show you the actual desktop. I've got so many windows here now, it's ridiculous. So far I have, well, I have the compressor. I was just going to, oh yeah, that's the one effect I haven't used yet, the Rochester compressor. So I just put it there for that reason. But I have an amp, and the amp I've chosen is the A30 Fawn. Oh, that's really loud. Why is that so loud? Because I've been playing with the levels when I was figuring this thing out. Anyway, it's fine. So, let me just check that. So let me know how you're getting on with this thing, because I'm still kind of playing with it. But I think it could be useful. Actually, I'm not sure. The verdict's like with me if this can be useful or not. I mean, I'm sure it'll be useful to some people. So you split the path like this. You know how to do that, right? And then you choose split dynamic, and you set the threshold, the attack, and the delay, and you can reverse what it does. And the reverse can be on or off. So here's what I've got it to do so far. I've got it so when I play soft, I get the clean sound through. And when I play harder, it sends it through this one to the reverb and delay. And it actually sounds very pretty. It sounds like this. Now, if you listen carefully, I'm picking very soft, but there's no effects, right? That's just a very noisy clean amp. Let me turn the input gate on. Okay, that's better. Okay, back to this one again. So, oh, the input gate has messed me up. Hang on. Right. So now you can hear us going through, and I got all that reverb and delay on there. So. When I pick harder, you get the effects come through. All right, so if you pick really light, I mean, that's a very basic explanation. If you pick really light, it goes straight through clean. If you pick hard, you get the effects. What I really want to do with this, and maybe you guys can help me. I don't believe it's possible. If this is possible to do, I'll be really happy. And well, I don't know. I still don't know if I would use it, but it would be kind of cool if I could have a distortion here. And when I set the guitar to say, the way I was hoping this would work, set the guitar to say 3, and play at kind of full regular volume. So the guitar's at 3 and I'm playing, and it's going through, just a clean amp. And then if I turn the guitar to 10 and play pretty hard, I get just the distortion come through. That is what I was hoping I'd be able to do. But the problem is I can never get it so that when the first strum, it comes right in. The first strum would always be the clean sound. I haven't been able to fix that. And the thing is, that feature might not be that useful because I can just do that with snapshots. Anyway, if you have an HX stomp with only 3 buttons, that could be useful. I think it's more useful for more experimental sounds like this, where you can kind of the harder you play, the more effects you get, the more, I mean, you could have drives and choruses and delays and whatever. There's definitely going to be some really cool uses for this, but so far I haven't been able to use it in the way that I would have thought initially, but we'll see. What do you think about that, Alec? Have you had the same experience as me? I think your best bet is to use this at first in more subtle effects instead of changing amps. Yeah, try doing the reverse and let effects come in as you lower the volume. Interesting. The reverse is right here, right? Oh, hang on. I didn't realize you can turn the split block off. Interesting. Did you? Oh, I keep saying, did you know that? I'm sure you did. But let me just try this again. Here's a split block. So that's dry, right? And if I play hard, I don't want to blow you away on the speakers. I muted it. There we go. Okay. And then you have to set the decay and the decay and the attack to be the right speed. Otherwise, it won't shut off the effect in time. Interesting. That's right. Yeah, I did, Alec. I put the attack on. So this is what I did. I put the attack on 50 milliseconds. But even then, I got the amps working how I wanted, but I still had that very first strum was clean. So it was like clean and then driven. So it didn't quite work. But yeah, let me try it. I gotta get the threshold just right and the attack just right. It's kind of fiddly, but there you go. You can kind of hear it clicking in. So soft, no effects, and then hard. That's an extreme example, but yeah, it works. It's cool. I mean, you know, it's definitely a great thing. I love the creativity behind it. I'm not necessarily going to say it's something that's. I think if you can, well, let me rephrase it. I think if you can dial it in just right, then it could be cool. If you can get it the way you play and the way it reacts to your playing, it could be a really, it just like sweeten and add you know, interest to what you're playing. It could be a really cool thing, but it definitely takes some fiddling around with. Still reversed? Okay. So that's playing soft. Yeah, actually I liked it reversed. When it's unreversed. Oh no, wait, no. Reverse is off. Yeah. Sorry, so. I like that. If I play soft, and then if I dig in, it comes on. Like I said, you just got to set the threshold right, and you got to set the other settings correctly. It's gonna require some serious tweaking for me, I think. Yeah, you're right. On the reverse, so when you play very quietly, you get like a pad. When you play harder, yeah, it's kind of cool. I do like it. It's just I think the gate might be a problem too. I'll turn it off. It just requires a lot of experimentation, I think. you don't set it right, then it can really creep in too quickly. I think I'll leave that for people to play around with. And if you find a way to use that that's really good, then please let me know. But yeah, a great experimental feature, I would say. We go back to my original patch. Here we go. All right, I'm going to go through the sounds, and I'm going to take I'm going to use I'm going to turn the microphone off so you don't hear when you have the microphone on, you hear the strings like this. It's not good. Okay. What's funny there is that I did all those. Does this happen to you? I did all those settings to the looper, and I forgot to save them. So all I had was a play button. I didn't have a stop button. So actually, I'm sure I had a stop button before. Let me just check that again. I guess I did that with Alec while I was on the feed, right? Oh no, it's come back now. So why did my stop button disappear? Let me just try that again. That's so bizarre. Hang on. I swear my stop button was not there. I only had a play icon, but you couldn't see what I was doing. That's kind of weird. I have noticed a few little weird things with this. I also lost the connection between the editor and the pedal at one point as well. Yeah, there's a couple. Have you guys found any bugs in this? Because there's definitely a couple there. So when I was playing, I don't think you could only see me on the screen. When I was playing, I only had a play button. I didn't have a stop button. So when I was doing the loop, I couldn't stop the loop. I had to turn the volume down. And now I've reloaded the patch again. That's working as normal again. So that's a bug. Anyway, that's why you don't install a .0 release on release day. But yeah, that's all the features. Have I missed any of the features here? I don't think so. I noticed one thing. All my levels are way off on all my snapshots. Now, the thing is, remember, don't set your levels with the... I didn't do this, by the way. But don't set your levels with the level indicators, because that doesn't represent the actual volume. The volume that you play at will only be set by playing at gig volume or with your in-ears, whatever, at the volume you're going to actually play at. So remember that. Just because all your levels on the screen are in the same place doesn't mean sonically it's going to sound the same. Depends on EQ and frequencies. I'm sure you guys know that, but it's something that's worth bearing in mind. Did I miss any features of this update, or did I cover everything? I think I did, and I just love the direction they're going. I love the flexibility. I love the new sounds, well, most of the new sounds are good for me, what I do, so it's always a nice thing. I also just started to use the keyboard commands as well. That's been around for a while, but I figure on this software I'm using now, right, I can switch between, I've got the countdown, I've got me, I've got the desktop, I've got the iPhone camera, which I love. Let me just move that into position. Yeah, so I can obviously change that with my keyboard, and because I can change it with my keyboard, I can also change it in the Helix, and you can assign keyboard commands. So I could have a button on there which changes the camera back to the main display every time. The only thing is, for me, I'm running out of buttons. This is where Alec comes in. It says to use MIDI, right? It'd be good. Actually, it would be a great idea to add an MC8 to this board and have the two looper buttons on there, the keyboard commands on there, and then have everything on the snapshot commands, and then everything on the Helix could just be pedals, like a pedal board. See, Alec, that's a good idea. I think the more flexible these devices get, the more buttons I want. That's weird, right? You think the more flexible they got, the less buttons I need. I think I need more buttons now. Because obviously before I had one button took me to looper, and now I've got two looper buttons, I've just lost a button. So the other thing you could do is you could use a 2-button looper like the Mission TT2, and you could, I don't know actually if you can assign that to the looper, but that would be cool if that could just be your looper with just the two switches, and then that would get it off the board completely, and you'd have all those switches for effects. Does anyone know if you could do that? That's something I should look into. That'd be really cool. So yeah, I like it. Anyway, I'm going to give you an update on what I've been up to, but cheers, my coffee's gone cold. Let me come to the chat because I haven't even read it. Let me put the guitar down. I'll put you back to here while I put the guitar down. How is everybody doing? I do like free updates, I have to say. I did update my HX Stomp. I haven't used it yet. Alec was saying that you can change or you can see the tuner on that. Looks more accurate, which is a nice thing. I want to check that out. Doesn't do that on the Helix, right? So it's not, doesn't matter. Okay, how are we doing? Let me go to the chat. I haven't looked at the chat yet. I'll bring you over to my main screen. On the main screen. I love my new software, but I've got all these different windows open all the time. And I tried to go live on Facebook today and it didn't work. Sometimes the restreaming on Facebook does not work. But I'm always going to make sure that I can get that to work on Saturdays for my concert because I want it to. I want to make sure I get Facebook on there too. But it can be a bit finicky when you try and use restream.io in case you want to start streaming yourselves. Okay, Alex says, plenty of fiddling with the command center. Loving it. Working on a few presets for Quantaloop that can maybe be shared. Yeah, well, you know my thoughts on that, Alec. I get, if I start adding the iPad in as well, it's just even more to think about. I'd like to add maybe a MIDI controller, but even then you've got to power it, right? what I'd like to do is have the 2-button looper on the TT2, and then the screen of the Helix, my 3 snapshots, and my effects. That for me would be absolutely perfect. That's all I need. That would be a nice thing. Okay, yeah, that's right, JJ. That was my mistake. There's no input meters. I would like to see that. I'd also like to see them in the software editor, but they are on the output block, and they are going from green to red. And there goes a plane above my head. Actually, I wonder when it goes red, what does that mean? Does it, sometimes mixers go red and it means that it's going to clip soon, or does it mean it's clipping? So don't get away from it. I know it's not an analog device, but even then, some digital devices kind of give you a heads up. They go red before they actually clip. So I don't know what Line 6 have done there. I'd like to know. JJ's House of Jam says Helix is so good. Yes, it really is, isn't it? I want to make your comments even bigger because they deserve to be. Let me bring you over here. So Alec, I'm actually using my iPad as my second monitor, which is kind of a cool feature. Hey, look, I can do this and then bring it. Oh, it cut you off. Bring you in. That's good. Bring it down. That's good. Okay. Yeah, what happened to the looper? See, the stop and start button is there now. Let me just try it again. I'll see if I can recreate that. Record, overdub, stop, play, stop, play, stop, record, play, stop. No, can't recreate it. But I should have taken a picture. I looked down. There's only a play button. Or did I hold it? Did I press and hold it down? Nope. I can't recreate it. Darn it. Can't recreate that bug. Rock on, Poo Ninja. I've read these already, right? So I'm going to read them again. Bommel, how you doing, the Bommel? Hi. The glitch may be you have to hold down for a second for it to be hold, kind of like a double click on a mouse. You may have to get used to it. No, the glitch is if you set the record button to be the release. You don't want that because you have to go duh, duh. If you press and then come off, you need to if it's on the release, you've got to be really quick. It's annoying. You got to press. So I always want the record to be on the actual press in record because that's the more instant one, right? I've had that with some other loopers too, and it can be annoying. So I like the fact that the Line 6 gave you the option to do either one. It's really cool. Alex says, sometimes a release can be closer for timing. It's a matter of your feet, but it's also nice to stand on and, stop a second. Well, maybe this is all personal preference, isn't it? But I personally think if you're going to loop, when you hit that button, you want it to... when you hit that microphone, when you hit that button, you want it to start recording. You don't want it to be any sort of delay because it can... when you record a loop, it needs to be bang on every single time. I need to go through some of my looper pedals and see which ones are the most accurate. Of course, timing is important on our part, but some loopers have better switches, they have better commands, better firmware, better processors that help with the syncing of everything. When you make a loop and it goes wrong, just blame the syncing. Poo Ninja, thank you. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go through Alex's messages now. You can also leave the full looper. Yes, you can. So you can have the full looper button there as well if you want to switch to something on there. So yeah, but the problem then I have with that is that you're going to have the 2-button looper and the main looper button. You've got 3 buttons you've used up on your Helix. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should use either the single button looper if you're okay with that. You should make a 2-button looper like I did and have one of the hold functions. I did enjoy having that hold function for the reverse that we set up earlier. It was really fun. Or just 1 button to go into the looper. I think if you're going to start having 3 buttons on the screen via looper, then you're going to start using up your real estate, right? So that's just how I think. I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, that thing is cool with the split block, right? Use it for more sub. I agree. Use it to bring in some more reverbs, to almost like the morph feature on the Kemper. Use it to add when you really dig in, have more effects coming on to fill up the space. I agree. But the thing with the volume, well, the only reason I tried the thing with the distortion is because you kind of got me thinking about it. but I couldn't get it to work. Attack and decay settings in the split block, they'll change the speed. Yeah, yeah. So you've got to get them exactly right or it doesn't work, right? Chad Boston in the house. Hi, buddy. Oh, this is interesting. Have you thought of using that for simulating a bass line? Set the path B with a pitch shift and drop everything by an octave. When you play soft, it can do a baritone guitar. I've thought about using this feature for everything, going from clean to heavy, going from low reverb to high reverb, and yeah, going from regular tuning to an octave below. The problem is, I find it hard at the moment, and I'll keep working on it, but I find it hard to set it so it's just right. Because what I don't want to ever happen is that I play hard and the clean sound comes through, and then the distortion sound comes through. Because that could make, well, when I was testing it here earlier, it was making me jump because the clean sound is so direct and there's so much attack on it that you're like, oh, that's loud. So, you know, it's great, but I just feel like if you have a full Helix, you can do a lot of that with snapshots anyway. It's definitely something that would need to be set up correctly. And Alec, if you can get it working, send me the patch. I'll try. I'll just use yours. Chad Boston, I didn't see you live earlier. What did you do? Yes, right. Because I didn't save when we made the changes to the looper. I didn't save the settings. That was what happened with that. So the little E is useful. I actually wish it was bigger because I did, or maybe they could have a feature where when you switch away from a patch you haven't saved, it will say, do you want to save what you did? Because I lost the settings that we changed. Although, yeah, my head's on a million things right now, which might be why. Now I found you can connect your HX effects and do it there. Yeah, what, have two pedals at once? Yeah, you can. But then you could also use a MIDI pedal as well, right? But I do have an HX effect, so I could do that. I could have a super Helix. That was the bigger news. You could just combine your two Helixes and have all those switches. Oh, really? How would you do that? Combine the two? I didn't know you could do that. That would be pretty cool. Hi, Probabilia. It means it is well clipping, yeah. Hi, Steve. How you doing? What's going on, Steve? I was supposed to see you at CAS, right? But this has all been cancelled now, of course. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure the red means that's not good. You need to back it off. But my point was that sometimes, like on my mixer right now that I'm talking on, if I get it so it's kind of red, it's still not, actually it's not red yet, but if I do get it to red, it's still not actually clipping on this thing, so. Alex said you can join two full Helixes together. No need to buy extra MIDI controllers. Well, I didn't know that. I guess the problem with that is you have to own two full Helixes, right? So can you combine them? How would you do that? How would you use... Well, I guess you could do that before, right? Or are you saying that you can choose a sound on one of them and loop it on the other one? That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That'd be nice. Yeah, so... I'm really digging it. I want 3.0 now, so I selfishly say. But the only thing is, hey Steve, do you have a Line 6 Helix? What do you play through? What do you play through when you play electric guitar or acoustic guitar? I know, well it had to happen, right? But yeah, that was going to be a good thing. I'm going to change the text here. So your name is a different color. Yeah, so... No, I really like the update. I just think that, as always, there's some things that I'll use and some things that I won't use, of course. But I actually would love to know how people are going to use this stuff, because I think that there's some really great features that could be used in a very creative way, and you just gotta know what you're doing. Let me try this. Oh, Alec, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. It says HX anything with command center. Oh, that's really cool. So you're saying that you can connect an HX effects to a Helix with what? With MIDI? And then use command center to run them both? Are you saying that the HX effects could have the looper controls for your Helix and it would control it and be in, it will sync up? You set your HX effects to do stuff and control the big Helix. You'd have the possibility to continue using the mic for broadcast and still have the DSP to play with. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, but I'm going to get a noise gate just for this microphone because I don't want to have everything tied into the Helix. When I use the Helix on the stream, like when I go to this, I just want to have the Helix. I want to be able to switch around and show stuff and what I'm doing. I don't want to, if I have the mic in there and I switch away from the preset, I'm going to lose the microphone, right? So I want to actually change that anyway. I'm changing that. I mean, I'm changing that setup anyway. I want to have just the. I definitely want to have just the microphone all sorted out, and I'll use the Helix for just for what it is. That's better. Use the stomp as just an amp even. It's really cool. Oh, right. So you would add another amp. That's cool. Have you tried that yet? I didn't actually hear. I didn't hear about that. So command center, which you can see here, is now a lot more powerful. Is that what you're saying? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So you can put anything on any switch, and then the MIDI's really. It sounds like the MIDI's really opening up then, so you can add more stuff. Yeah, I like it a lot. I like it. I think that looper now is really powerful. The fact that it can be a 2-button looper and the reverse mode as well, because it's a 2-button looper with record, stop, play, undo, redo, and reverse in 2 buttons. That's actually pretty powerful, isn't it? And what else do you need? What else do you need to have there, right? It's pretty great. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so I got some great news. So next week I have interviews, and I'm very happy because yesterday I had well, if you joined me yesterday, you know that I had Doug Young on. He was on here, and he is right up my alley because he does the acoustic guitar pickups. And if you checked out his website, you would have seen all the reviews he did of different pickups. Did you check that out? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool what he does on there. He demos all these different pickups on there. So that was great. And then his friend Taya Gherkin was here, and he was the editor of Acoustic Guitar Magazine and now has his own channel, which is Peghead Nation, which is on YouTube. So he's met everyone. These people have met everyone: Tommy Emmanuel, Lawrence Juba, all the guitarists. So I was really happy that Taya said he would come on the show next week. We're doing Tuesday, so he'll be on at 4 p.m. doing an interview. Wednesday, I'm hoping to have a very special guest, but I don't want to announce it until it's completely confirmed. I need to get. I mean, hopefully I'll get a haircut next week too. I might have to do it myself on the stream. Look at this. No, Wednesday I should have a very cool guest. Well, very cool for me, and if you like acoustic guitars, will be very cool for you as well. But not confirmed yet, so I'm waiting to hear about that. And then Thursday, I have another guest. I'm hoping to get James. I haven't told him yet. James May on Thursday to talk about impulse responses. So I've got a really cool week next week. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, I have to firm it all up for sure. And as you can see, I'm trying to move the room around. So I've moved away from the wall behind me, and I'm going to try putting up a screen behind me so there's nothing actually behind, that you don't see those doors anymore. I think that would be a nice improvement. So that's what I was doing today. I was working on the room, moving the room around. I think it's pretty cool. Well, I hope it will be cool when I'm finished. We'll see. Yeah, I did it last night. You could do this before, but it's way more easy to organize. That's really cool. I'll have to try that. Oh, Alec, I thought I tried everything today, and now you're telling me there's something I didn't try? Oh, man. But you know how I am with MIDI stuff. I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. I love that camera view. Isn't it cool? And the great thing, if you've got Ecamm Live, if you get this app, the phone is actually working right now as the camera. And this phone is wireless. So I can actually pick up the tripod and I can move it around. Check this out. There's a bit of latency. Had to wake itself up, but I can move it. I can show you my amplifiers. I can show you the pedal. I can show you the screen. Like that. So that's really cool. I really like that a lot. Yeah, I think the app was actually free. You can get an app like that for the. I tried one before with OBS, and that was cool. But that was a paid app. This one's free, and it works really well. And that's great because you can just carry that around the house and show different angles and things. Or I could show you the cats, you know, all these different things. So I like that. I like that quite a bit. Alec, have you made a video on the feature you just mentioned to me? Have you made a video about that? Because I would like to check it out and see how you're doing it. Because I do have an HX effects, and so you're saying I could chain my Helix, my HX effects, and my stomp all together. Is that right? Because that's really interesting. That's quite a cool idea. Yeah, you got me thinking now. I'd like to try that. Yeah, that's awesome. I definitely want to give that a go. Let me know. Let me know what you've done with that, and if it's something I should try. Because I think, you know, I'd like to do it just as a proof of concept, even. All right, awesome. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope you found something interesting and useful there. And I'm just going to noodle for a bit. And thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you tomorrow. And also, I enjoyed using that Band in the Box today for the intro song. I hope you like that. I'm going to try doing more, so while you're waiting for me to show up, you can jam along and use them. Aha. Hold on a second. There we go. That's better. So thanks for watching. Please let me know if I missed anything. I think I found all the features, and if you find a good way of using that split block, then do let me know, because I think it's very interesting and I like to discover new things. But thanks for watching. I will see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. And I want to just finish up by trying this one again. That's really cool. Let me know what your favorite feature is here, by the way. I'd like to know. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time. Have a great evening.